Welcome back to your weekly dose of things I found interesting in Avatar. Today, Netflix revealed a couple of really cool things. One that's kind of controversial amongst the community. It has to do with season 2 and removing a very important part of Avatar, and I actually kind of like the change. If it's done properly, it could be even better than the original. There were also a few posters that got revealed as well, so we're gonna go over those, and if you want to know everything, I'm not gonna say that for the 1000th time. You guys know what I mean. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with the poster reveals, which I may add are some of my favorite poster reveals that we've gotten so far. First off, we have this new poster of Azula. Now, instantly, so many people were like, why are Azula's flames not blue? And are assuming Netflix aren't gonna do the blue flames. I really don't know how people are just automatically assuming that we're not gonna get the blue flames. Azula's flames almost always turn back to being red after they catch something on fire. Literally, the only exception to this was when Azula was in the throne room, sitting in the throne, and to me at least, this clearly isn't the throne room. That brings me to the next point. Where is this? Because I actually don't know where this takes place. It almost looks like the door at the Crescent Island temple, but the design is a little bit different, and there's no way to firebend into the door to open it, so maybe it's just a random place in the Fire Nation. Azula is doing her signature 2-finger firebending stance, which is really cool to see. I see people online saying this is probably right before she lightning bends, but Azula always just bends with 2 fingers. However, seeing her lightning bend in the series would be really cool. I'm not opposed to that. This kind of brings me to the topic of a lot of people noticing that the Fire Nation tends to bend fire with their palms open, as opposed to the show where the majority of the time they're making fists. I'm gonna have a full video breaking down why that is on Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. Here is Iroh on what I'm assuming is Zuko's ship. I really do like the transition from Iroh's outfit looking more like armor in the cartoon to this more royal robe kind of look in the live action. Maybe it's because I'm a bit biased and all my favorite iterations of Iroh all wear robes. The background here looks amazing. I don't know if these are actual props or just assets the graphic designer found online, but it looks great. Ozai looks perfect as always, probably the best casting done in the entire show. Not to say the others are bad, because the others are absolutely amazing as well. It's just, look at this guy. That is Ozai, the man who has the internet at his mercy. People online are like, hold up, let's hear him out. Maybe Zuko was acting out. I think this is supposed to be Ozai in just a different section of his throne room. The dragon in the background looks sick. Oh, and I never even noticed there were dragons on his robe. Seeing all this kind of makes me think that the live action is going to show more dragons and their involvement in Fire Nation culture, a lot more than the cartoon did. This last poster is by far the most interesting one, at least to me. Here we have Commander Zhao, possibly even Admiral Zhao by here. This seems to represent the time right before he gets to Kyoshi Island. That army in the background is so menacing. Imagine pulling up to this small village that has maybe 15 people there to defend it on a good day with this massive army. Honestly, a little bit overkill, but it kind of fits Zhao's character perfectly. He's always been a little overkill, a little bit irrational. I'm honestly hoping Zhao is a little bit cooler in the live action, because in the cartoon he's kind of just diet Ozai. He's literally just a weaker Ozai, has the same ideals, loves the Fire Nation, literally would do anything for Ozai. Okay, let's move on to the season 2 news that recently just popped up. Albert Kim did another interview with the Entertainment Weekly and was asked some pretty interesting things in regards to the characters aging and how they will do season 2. They made it very clear at the start of the interview that season 2 has not been officially confirmed yet, despite everything pointing in that direction. Like, you have Netflix titling everything season 1, you have this massive marketing push, you have this website, multiple Instagram channels, daily posts. Regardless of all of that, season 2 has not been officially confirmed yet. If fan reception to this series is bad, season 2 won't happen, and that's pretty much the only thing holding it back. Albert Kim further comments on this, saying that there's still a lot of work to be done, and it's a race to the finish line at this point. So right now, that's all I'm consumed with. I don't want to think about tomorrow yet. That being said, there were certain logistical factors of making an epic fantasy drama on this scale that forced Kim to account for the possibility for more seasons. 1, his core 4 actors are aging up on screen before his eyes, and 2, it takes time to both film and produce a single season of Avatar. Season 1 finished filming in British Columbia in summer of 2022, and the crew has been entrenched in post-production since. Gordon Cormier, who stars as Aang, auditioned for the part at the age of 11 and is now 14. Gawendio, who plays waterbender Katara, started her Avatar journey at 14 and is now 17, and so on and so on. Albert Kim goes on to talk about how all 3 seasons of the animated series take place in a essentially 1 calendar year. There was no way we could do that, so we had to design this first season especially to accommodate the possibility of some time elapsing between the first and the second season. Part of that strategy involves Sozin's Comet, which fans of the original series are already familiar with and newbies can spot cutting across the night sky in the trailers. The comet was their ticking clock. We removed that particular ticking clock from our show, for now, because we couldn't know exactly how old our actors would be for the subsequent seasons. We definitely thought about that going into season 1, so that we could accommodate for puberty, adolescence, time passing, and all of those fun things that happen to real life human beings that don't happen to animated characters. Now, of course, as always, there are people who complain about literally anything, but this change was inevitable. The show simply takes too long to produce to pull off this whole "you have until summer's end" stuff. That would just be crazy. You would see this little kid Aang age 5 years within 6 months. Like, it just wouldn't make sense, it would look weird, and I'm glad they're changing it. But to further elaborate why I like this change, and it doesn't really have anything to do with it making sense, I think, in a way, it's a lot more suspenseful. Aang goes to talk to Roku. Roku tells him about this world-ending comet that's coming, but there's one issue. You don't know when it's coming. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 5 years. So Aang, you have to prepare accordingly. Just imagine it. You'd spend every single day training as hard as you can. You probably wouldn't be able to sleep at night. It's just so scary, man. They could also find a way to do this cool little plot line where the Fire Nation finds a way to predict the comet, and Aang has no way of finding out, or maybe they sneak into the Fire Nation so they can find out. I don't know. It could just be a lot of fun, and there's a lot of different directions they could take this. In other news, kind of, the official Instagram channel for the series posted a picture with this caption. Seriously, am I the only one who thought June was from the Fire Nation, or at least a Fire Nation colony, which would make her Fire Nation? I know the fandom wiki also says June is from the Earth Kingdom, but I'm pretty sure they found that lost lore on some old Nickelodeon archive that was deleted years ago. I mean, just look at her. Her outfit matches everyone in the Fire Nation, especially in the live action. Her outfit looks identical to everybody else in the Fire Nation. I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you guys hashtag Team Fire Nation June or hashtag Team Earth Kingdom June? My headcanon is that she's secretly Fire Nation and no one's gonna take that away from me. Alright guys, we are so close to 200,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Avatar. If we get to 200,000 subscribers before the series comes out, I'll do a huge giveaway where I either give Netflix gift cards away or maybe PayPal money. I don't know, some way so a lot of you guys will be able to watch the series. Alright, see you guys.